Good morning, beloveds. So, day 2 of I uninstalled the app last night, reinstalled it, and that appears to have worked. So, all right. I'm much happier now. I have my appointment with the cataract doctor today, so we can see about taking care of the cataract in my left eye so that I can go back to seeing much more clearly than I do now. It's like, I'm seeing with the inner eye, but this one, that eye's not. Yeah. All right. Everybody keeps telling me it's a piece of cake. It's a piece of cake. So we'll find out. But today is not the surgery. Today is when I meet the doctor and schedule the surgery, I hope. All right. God is the power of my life is our title. All power is given unto me in heaven and in earth. That is Matthew 28:18. And then the science of mind, in so far as our prayers are affirmative, it is creative of the desired results. And that is Science of Mind, page 155. I have dominion over everything in my life today. The world, with its confusion of external events, its collective beliefs, and its movements in all directions, has no effect on me. Greater are they that is in you than they that is in the world. The power of my word creates my world. The spirit that dwelleth in me, that does the work. This is the secret of all life. Every good task is instantly accomplished by my realization of my oneness with God. Every obstacle and obstruction is completely dissolved by the creative spirit working through me. This power which is within me directs the law by which I do my spirit's work. I possess and use the power of the infinite. The power within me awaits my recognition. My positive thoughts and ideas direct it into positive actions and deeds. Whatever I desire is given unto me through the law. Yes, I love you too. According to the intensity of my conviction. My conviction gives life to my thoughts. As I am aware of the power within me, it flows outward through me into all of the activities of my life. I use this power wisely and do not let it become diffused through a lack of direction. Each solidly directed thought has all the strength of the universe within it. The power of God in me is producing perfection in my life today. Constructive, creative activity is mine today. Everything I do is part of the infinite process of creation. My every thought is made manifest by the power working within me. This power removes and eliminates from my life all ideas of ignorance, prejudice, limitation, age, disease, fear, and hate. The power of the one mind produces the reality of good in my life. The complete action of the immutable power is present within me now. God is the power of my life today. And that is DC. And I don't remember DC. I'm kind of thinking this is the first time we've encountered DC. Let's find out who DC is. Donald Curtis. Okay. Frankly, that one's packed. I mean, I could pull that one apart and go into every sentence. But let me start with the power of my word creates my world. And that's about attitude. Really. When you look around at your world, what do you see? Do you see mostly good with a few rough edges? Or do you see mostly rough edges with a few good spots? Because I will tell you that comes down to your attitude. It comes down to your word. It comes down to your consciousness. Because the truth is that the world is a mix of both. The world is definitely a mix of good and rough spots. I'm not going to use the word bad. I'm going to use the word rough. Okay? Because it means we can smooth it. And so it can be fixed. And yet, if we're focused on the rough spots, we're missing out on the good. And if we're focused entirely on the good, then we might miss some of the rough spots where we can, they can occasionally just come up and smack us in the face. We're missing work that we could do. Now, not every rough spot is work for us to do. Although Emma would argue if it comes to your attention, then there is something that you can do about it. It doesn't mean you have to fix it, but there's something that you can do about it. And so every good task is instantly accomplished by my realization of my oneness with God. And you're like, what? Your realization of your oneness with God opens up that channel for the power of God to flow through you, as he says a little bit later, out into whatever it is that you're working on. And because a little bit later on, he says that, every obstacle and obstruction is completely dissolved by the creative spirit working through me. So that's why yesterday we were talking, and I don't remember if it was the first one or the second one, because I did two yesterday. We were talking about, what was it? Living more abundantly. By recognizing who we are, by recognizing the kernel of the changeless reality of who we are, makes this one, there's just so much in this one. Okay. What I'm trying to say is, when we come to God with everything, when we start with God, when we come to God with good things, as well as, I can't do this, I need help, when we allow that conscious connection with God, then the obstructions and, what was the other thing that he says? Obstruction and obstacles that we encounter become opportunities, because we see them differently, because the power of our word creates our world. And therefore, when we come up against obstructions and obstacles, we don't see them that way. They are things that are impeding our progress, but we see them as opportunities to learn something new, to encounter new people, because the obstacle that I have run into might be that, hey, there's this one person that I need to meet, and have some kind of relationship with, that will get me past this obstacle. So, and that's why I'm saying the power of our word creates our world. What are we focused on? And Ernest is big about that, right? And it's about the conscious union with God, because when we consciously unite with God, then that power flows through us unobstructed and out into our world, and amazing things start to happen because we're not getting in our own way anymore. All right. There's a lot more, but if I keep talking, then I'm never going to get to work, and that just can't happen. So, okay. June 1st. God is the power of my life. I don't know what to do with Matthew 28:18. I suggest you go read a few lines before and a few lines after. All power is given unto me in heaven and in earth. Who is he talking to? Like, who says that? Is that Jesus talking? I don't know. So feel free to go look it up. But in the science of mind, insofar as our prayer is affirmative, it is creative of the desired results. Positive. We state what we want as if it has already happened, because it already exists in the mind of God. And then we just have to be willing to accept that it's happening in the material realm. Okay, so that's from page 155 in The Science of Mind. Okay, I have dominion over everything in my life today. That's a heck of a statement. It's like, especially if you're facing something that you're not real thrilled about going to do, then, there you go. I have dominion over everything in my life today. State it as a fact and then act like it. The world, with its confusion of external events, its collective beliefs, and its movements in all direction, has no effect on me. And so that's it. External events, collective beliefs. It's like it's the art of not giving a insert word, which starts with an F, which I'm not going to do. And sometimes you need to do it because you're just out of them. And sometimes because it doesn't matter. It's like the world can tell you whatever it wants and you can go, yeah, well, watch me. And honestly, that's a lot of who I am. It's like, you can tell me, well, you can't do that because you're a girl or you're almost 50 or you're, and I'm just going to look at you and go, watch me, because I have no to give. I'm not going to let the world get in my way. The world can tell me all the stuff it wants to tell me, and I'm going to be like, okay, you can believe that. But my God's going to support me. And I am going to fly. Okay, so greater is God that is in you than God that is than who is in the world. Okay. I need to go find that quote because I did not do a good job of gender neutraling that one. The power of my word creates my mind. It creates my world. My world, the way I perceive it, the way I see it, does directly come from who I am, who I know myself to be. And I know myself to be a beloved child of God. Yes, I understand that the world is messy and chaotic and that I have work to do. But I see the good. And I work on the rough spots. This life, nope. The spirit that dwelleth in me doth the work. I don't have to worry about how messy the world is. I don't have to worry about where the power is going to come to fix the messiness in my life, because I understand that it is coming from an inexhaustible source. It will get done. Does it have to get done all at once? Well, my anxiety says yes, but my faith says no. My faith says it will get done when it gets done. And occasionally my faith can rein it. Actually, my faith's gotten really good at reining in my anxiety. And then occasionally my anxiety runs over my faith. It happens. And it's okay. And when that happens, I recenter. I go back to God and go, all right, let's try this again. I got this time. Practice is a good thing. All right. This is the secret to all life. Every task is instantly accomplished by my realization of my oneness with God. Start there. Start with your oneness with God. Don't go there last. Don't go there when you have exhausted all options. Start with your oneness with God. Every obstacle and obstruction is completely dissolved by the creative spirit working through me. This power which is within me directs the law by which I do my God's work. I possess and use the power of the infinite. And the power within me awaits my recognition. That's why we do spiritual practice. The power is there. You have to be willing to recognize it, accept it, and then use it. My positive thoughts and ideas directed into positive actions and deeds. Whatever I desire is given unto me through law, according to the intensity of my conviction. According to the intensity of my conviction. Say it like you mean it. My conviction gives life to my thoughts. As I am aware of the power within me, it flows outward through me into all the activities of my life. I use this power wisely and do not let it become diffused through the lack of direction. That's one thing. It's like we've got all this power and we're spinning and we're just digging ourselves a deeper hole. That's what he means by diffuse. It's like we're wasting it. It's like pick a direction. You can always change your mind later. Each solidly directed thought has all the strength of the universe within it. Solidly directed. I think I just heard the mission. The power of God in me is producing perfection in my life today. Okay, he's got a great treatment down here. Constructive creative activity is mine today. Everything I do is a part of the infinite process of creation. My every thought is made manifest by the power working within me. This power removes and eliminates from my life all ideas of ignorance, prejudice, limitation, age, disease, fear, and hate. He had the big ones. The power of the one mind produces the reality of good in my life. The complete action of immutable power is present within me now. God is the power of my life today. State it like you mean it. All right, Donald Curtis. The mission today, should we choose to accept it, is to solidly direct our thoughts. Which means when we have a thought of something that we want to do, we are going to line it up solidly. What does that mean that we need to do? Do we need to write it out so that we can see it? Or do we need to speak it out loud? Or do we need to speak it silently? Because I know a few people like that. Do you need to create pictures? Like taking a picture or painting a picture, or like a vision board where you take the pictures from the magazine solidly. Make it as real as possible for you, and then give it to God. Give it to God. And then follow the directions, because you will get them. All right, that is the mission today. The other one is the same one that we do every day. Do something loving for yourself. Do something kind for yourself. Do something compassionate for yourself. I'm not sure where my time is, so I'm just going to wrap this up. All right. Which is do something to engage your mind and your body. Drink plenty of water. I'm very focused on water right now because I need a drink. Get that early morning light or early in your day light to reset those hormones, and open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you, you do live in heaven right here, right now. It is all around us. Our word creates our world. And that breath of heaven reminds us heaven is a state of mind. It's a state of consciousness. It is a state of our word. All right. So bear that in mind. Email info@creativelife.org if you want to know what's going on. 2 of the 3 book studies are continuing. You know what? I say that. I know the Monday night one is. The Wednesday is on hiatus. I don't know about the Thursday. Because I don't know what book he's using next week. So, email. That way you can get on the constant contact even when I don't know. I did have a little bit of issue putting my ordination up online. It is now up on the YouTube. I had it listed as private, which meant only I could get into it, which is why I was like, why are you having troubles? I can get it. Okay, fine. It is now unlisted. So if you want the link, contact, if you email info@creativelife.org, he'll send them to you because it's on my page, the Running Rev Ryan page. So, and I will send you the link. All right. I think that's it. Have a great day, an amazing day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, an enchanting day, a magical day, a get your thoughts in solid directions day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day, because you are not just as you are. You are a beloved child of God in whom God is well pleased and well represented. Always. It's a state of grace. Okay, I'm going to get off into the process of my day. No good things for me with the eye doctor. And I'll give you an update tomorrow. And I think I've said everything I need to say. Catch us on the social medias. We are Creative Life Spiritual Center and Creative Life Spark, and I am the running Rev Ryan. All right, beloveds. Know that you're loved. Reverend David will be on around 5 p.m. with you. I should be back with you at 9 a.m. to give you the update. Take care of yourself. Always. Until next time.